Okay, so we're going to get started with our next panel. This is going to be a lightning round. It's going to go a little bit different than how it's been, but if everyone wants to, in the back, make sure that, it can be pretty noisy, so if you want to take a seat and whatnot. So first and foremost, I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves, and then we'll take it from there. So, guys, rock stars, knock it off.
Hi, my name is Jonny and Paula. I'm a professional YouTuber from New Hampshire, and this is my third panel today, so I'm not going to repeat myself.
But what if there's new people in the room who don't know who you are and want to know who you are?
Like her. I manage the J-Pizzle1122 channel, and I am most well known for the Is It a Good Idea to Microwave This web show.
I've seen that. My name is Vidal, and I've been making YouTube videos for a really long time. I'm from up in Canada, so you probably haven't heard of me, and that's okay.
My name is Ken DeGilio. I am CEO of LaunchMob Media, and I am from Daytona Beach. My Twitter handle is Orlando Ken. So welcome to Orlando, all of you visitors.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so in this lightning round, they're each going to kind of get a chance to speak to their own experiences, and we definitely want to take a couple questions from the audience, but I think we're going to start on the opposite side of me this time. Ken, if you are ready to begin, just what is LaunchMob, right?
LaunchMob.
LaunchMob, like what is LaunchMob? How is it involved with YouTube? Tell me more.
Well, we're a brand consulting firm. We do creative content. So we're doing video content for new companies, big and large, small brands, large brands, all over.
All over.
All over.
So in working
we're bringing stories to life.
Okay.
Through YouTube and other media, on websites and all over.
So do you work with YouTubers, or do you create your own videos?
We're creating our own.
So it's in-house video creation.
That's right.
And how are you finding the whole video creation process and working with brands, and how difficult that can be?
Well, everybody wants their stories told on video, so that's good for us.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So,
and so in being here, what do you...
Want some secrets about it?
Yes, please.
So here's what I prepared. 5 ways you can differentiate your brand so they don't suck.
Ooh,
right, so
okay.
Oh, wow.
Here's number 1.
I'm ready to learn. Everybody pen and paper.
Right.
Take out your notepad.
There's going to be a test after.
I have to, a little surprise, right? So you guys know about big... Exposing yourself.
There's the moms are gone, right? No kids in the room?
So, being authentic and transparent. So, this is part of exposing yourself a little bit, getting naked sometimes, maybe not all the time, exposing yourself. So, I'm at Orlando Ken, and that's who I am. So, hopefully you'll connect with me a little bit. But being remarkable, and that's from Seth Godin's, the Purple Cali idea. And that's probably number 1, I think, that could really stand out for everybody, is the idea of standing out, being unique, and really working with that.
Finding your own niche?
Find it, definitely. Yeah. And working it.
Very cool. And Corey, I want to, let you kind of explore a little bit of what you're doing on YouTube now. Sure. How do you see your role on YouTube? Like, not your career, but I mean, like, your role on YouTube right now. How passionate and excited are you to be creating the content that you're creating right now?
Extremely passionate, and I don't know, YouTube is something that's always kind of, it did something for me that I never could have done for myself. I don't feel like YouTube is something that I've earned, and we can get into a philosophical or religious debate on, if everything happens for a reason, or if through the power of positive attraction, stuff like The Secret, it happened, or the god or gods that you happen to believe in. Something bigger than maybe this panel, unless you have comments on the issue.
I was just trying to talk specifically to your point of not having earned it.
Right.
Are you suggesting that all of your hard work is perhaps not in earnest, it's not worth it, that you didn't deserve what you got?
I would agree. What I tell people is there are people who work way, way, way harder than I do, that have not made it. And then there's people who have worked way less hard that have gotten way more. The most popular video in 2011 was Rebecca Black's Friday.
That's a great...
Right? Now, they worked on it for a few days.
And then the most popular video this year is probably going to be Coney 2012.
Yeah, right? And they obviously worked really hard on the Coney video, and you could say that, yeah, they worked hard on Rebecca Black's video. But there is a certain amount of talent, there's a certain amount of perseverance, but there's a certain amount of luck. And there's people in this room who have worked their asses off and not seen it yet. And there are some times where I work really, 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 really hard on a video that goes nowhere. And then there's times where I lip sync an a cappella song to my webcam in a couple hours and get 20 million views. It's not fair. YouTube is not a fair system. It never has been, and it probably never will be.
Well, it's inherently the issue of just how we as a culture digest media. There's no way to bring a fair system into what is essentially an unfair society.
Right.
It's just some things work and some things don't. And same way, I spent I think 7 hours editing a vlog last week, and I got like 8,000 hits, and I did a 30-second cell phone upload that did twice that in half an hour. And it's like, well, why do they like this and not this? I don't know.
Right.
But that's just how it works sometimes.
So why do they subscribe to some channels and not others? Why do they comment on some videos and not others? Why do they like or dislike a video? Why are they on YouTube and not another website? It's impossible for us to control that. And I find the more control I give up, the more honest I am, and in turn people end up liking me more because I'm not, and I'm going to swear, I'm not bullshitting anybody. Because people can see that coming.
He's exposing himself.
Yeah.
But so then what is, taking the fact that YouTube is not fair, at the face value, and that luck plays a lot into it, what advice do you give them? Because that can kind of be a little bit of a depressing thing if you spend so much time on something and you put all of your energy into it and you don't see anything out of it. Yet, in the previous panel you said about how if YouTube went away, if all of this was gone, you'd still be making videos with your friends and just showing them to your friends. So how do you work through not necessarily seeing the results that you want to see of what you have created?
Two things. One is the process. You can work on a video, and if it makes you miserable, but it gets you 1 million views, was it worth it? Different people might agree or disagree on this. I don't think it's worth it, because I like making videos. I don't like reading comments and getting views and making money. I mean, I do. That's not why. If I am making videos to read comments, I'm making videos to stroke my own ego. I'm making videos to make lots of money. I want to see how many likes I have, and oh, this one has 300 likes, but this one only has 200 likes. What did I do wrong? I enjoy the process of making videos, coming up, shooting, getting friends together, then editing, then uploading, then all of the other things as well. But you have to enjoy all of it, not just the fame and the comments and the interactivity. That's a big part of it, but that's not everything.
Right, but I just wanted to kind of differentiate something, and maybe for you, maybe you can clarify that it's not differentiating, but like, do you think that just reading comments is just for the ego, or do you think that there's a honest interaction between creator and commenter that can happen that maybe is beyond ego and maybe more societal?
Right. So did you want to say something?
That YouTube without comments would be a terrible website. The community is the entire thing that drives everything. And yes, while Corey and I and most people who do this for a living do this not for the paycheck, but because that's what we want to do. We enjoy creating, we enjoy entertaining. That's why we do it. But at the end of the day, without the community at the other end, it's kind of like, well, we can't just, unfortunately, do it just for ourselves. We have to share it with other people. And that's part of it, is that I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy sharing it. And without the community on the other end to receive it, I mean, you said you would put a lot of time and effort into a video, but if it got 0 comments, I mean, there's definitely something to be said that would be pretty depressing.
Right. Now, let's consider
There's only so far that your own happiness will take you.
But let's consider the following. Would you consider yourselves a media person or a video maker for a living? What would you define your profession as?
I'm a professional YouTuber.
Right. That is very easy. Now I have to deal with the border when I come here because I'm from another country. I would like to think that I'm a video maker, and maybe some of the people in the gym say, I want to be a video maker. However, if you make a YouTube video and you put it on YouTube and you get 0 views, you're not going to make any money, even if you're a partner. If you are a partner and there's an ad on that video and you get 0 views, you make $0. So we need those views. But I don't see that as my profession. And like I mentioned earlier, we don't get paid to use Twitter, but we love using Twitter.
Right.
We don't get paid to read comments. And it's not like, oh, leave a comment, so, because every time you do, I get 10 cents. We don't get paid for comments at all. We don't get paid for subscribers. We don't get paid for favorites. So the answer, like, are you a YouTuber? Like, that's absolutely correct. What we do as a profession, the truth is that YouTube partners generate traffic and drive traffic to ads. I make people see advertisements. That's how I make money. But that's not how I see my life, my job, my profession. There's a lot more to it than that. Yeah. And so I would argue that most of what we do is for free. Yes. It's only getting that click. And YouTube even talked about clicks versus how long. All we need to do is get clicks to make money. Right. But that's not what I think any of us are interested in doing, which is why it's so much bigger than that.
And why YouTube is such a complex... No, I mean, but then why YouTube is just such a complex and, I don't know, confusing place sometimes, I guess. And Ken, I want you to jump in. I don't want to leave you out here. Yeah, but I mean, I want you to jump in. Like, do you ever get discouraged?
He's talking about the storytelling aspect, and I think that's what I wanted to add, that we all want to tell a story. And sometimes you come to people like our agency to help tell your story. Right. But sometimes you have it, but you don't really know that you're doing that. But that's what he just described, is the passion behind the story. Right. And that's what we're about. That's what our company's about. And that's what we like to do. It's not just about the money, but it's helping them tell their story, because not everybody can do that. Right. Not everybody can be successful in that. And everybody is a potential YouTube star in our eyes. Or media star, or website star. Right.
And so what challenges and hurdles do you face, like, you know, yourself and your company in working in this whole space?
The idea, that's what I came here to talk about, was the idea of being differentiated and knowing what you stand for and knowing what you're passionate about and then going with that. Yeah. That's a simple... That's the goal? That's I mean, I was like, it's very simple, but it gets really complex when rubber meets the road.
Because we want to be all things to all people.
And really not know ourselves, and we're afraid to expose ourselves to that level, I think.
Right.
When we can, what he just said is, we have that success because you're willing to share that, and people know that you're not doing it just for the ad dollar.
Right.
So we hope they know that.
I think
we still get accused of the opposite. At least I have.
I think that's why you're on this side of the table.
Oh, you're just doing this for the money.
Right.
You're only doing this for the money.
But are you?
No, of course not.
But what I mentioned earlier, if I stop making money, if I stop getting views, if I stop getting comments, I'm going to keep making videos. And you said you find that hard to believe.
No, I'm not saying it would hard to believe. I would just, it would be depressing. It would be demoralizing for me because that's what and ultimately I don't want to make money. I want to entertain.
Right.
So if I'm not entertaining people, money aside from that, it's like, well, if nobody's watching, I do.
Like if the partner program went away and you couldn't make money, but you were still able to entertain people, you would feel fulfilled. But if you were just, you know, shouting into the darkness and there was nothing there, then
I think when you take money off the table, I would still be doing YouTube videos probably once a day, because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy having an audience, and I enjoy interacting with the audience. And the money is just what allows me to do it full time and focus exclusively on it. But inherently, I entertain because I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy writing. I enjoy editing, filming, and having the audience is what drives me. Without the audience, it's like, it's just kind of editing for an exercise, which at that point is just like a really complicated digital jigsaw puzzle. and puzzles are fun, but it's a very solitary exercise.
And everybody can approach it differently, but I'll share a story here, and maybe this might offer insight into what my motivation was. On November 3rd, 2008, I was home alone, and I was renting a basement in the city of Oakville, outside of Toronto, in Ontario. And the Star Wars acapella video that I had made a couple weeks earlier got featured on YouTube's worldwide front page. And my friend Sam had called me, and I woke up, and I ran to the computer, and I checked the comments. And there was a comment, 1 second ago, 1 second ago, 1 second ago, 1 second ago, 1 second ago. And then you would refresh it, and I couldn't read them fast enough. It was amazing. It felt amazing. But at the same time, that success wasn't shared with anyone because I was alone. I had made that video alone, And as opposed to being like, yeah, I made this and I earned it and I'm awesome, it kind of did the opposite. It's like, there's nobody doing this with me. And yeah, it's like winning, winning a lottery where, winning a game show no one has ever heard of.
That's what Twitter's for.
Right?
No, I think that's a good point, Ken.
Right? Winning a prize that means nothing to anyone in your life. So it meant something to people online, and don't get me wrong, I'm not coming from an ungrateful place, but my motivations changed. Up till that day, I wanted to be a YouTube star. That's what I wanted for 3 years. One day it's going to happen, one day it's going to happen, one day I'm going to be a big star. And then a video went viral, and I looked around and there was nobody there with me. And I started changing my motivations, because traveling by yourself is boring. Driving by yourself is boring. Making videos by yourself is lonely. And I started reaching out to the people in my life saying, hey, do you want to make YouTube videos with me? You should start a channel. You should get partnership. Do this with me so I'm not doing it alone. And guess what? You don't have to do it alone either. And for me now, it's been a couple years. I have my own company and we've got 18 people. Most of them are full-time. A bunch of them are sitting right over there. And I get the distinct pleasure of working with my friends. Not doing YouTube because I'm a partner and I wanted success and I got it and whoop-de-doo, I'm a big star. I want to share that with the people that I care about. And I want it for them too. I want them to be YouTube partners so we can all do this as our own little community inside of a bigger community. Because it's a blast.
Yeah.
But imagine you can't go to Disney World by yourself.
No, absolutely true. Right? Absolutely true.
You got to enjoy it with your family or friends.
And I think, it's so interesting because whenever you say, like, YouTube superstar or celebrity, I think that we can all have kind of different definitions of success or what we want to have success. And Ken, I think I want you to touch on this a little bit of just like, videos that you make might not get like 50 million views, but you still consider your company a success. You still consider what you're doing. Like, how do you define success, in this way?
Yeah, I think success is in a little bit different in the community aspect. That if one person had an impact, then that's great. May not result in your ad dollars, but you made that difference. You told a story, and you were creating engaged audiences and communities, and from that you're going to grow. Yeah. And so I guess maybe my views are a little different, and experiences I've had are different that way.
But you're enjoying your time on YouTube.
Not pushing out content, but creating a community, and that's the same thing that you were saying too.
Right. Cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I want to take a couple questions before you have to go. Does anyone in the audience have? I see your hand go up.
You were talking about how you wanted to share your success with people. I'm kind of in a similar situation. I'm an engineer. Engineers are stereotypically very introverted, and I want to be more outroverted, I guess. And one of the hardest things for me is trying to find people that will get excited with me. I get excited about 6,000 views on a cat bowling video, where I tricked a cat running into a stack of red cups. My friends just didn't seem to be that excited about it. So for me, I was amazed, but it was hard for me to get anyone in my family to be like, oh, that's cool. Or my engineering friends be like, oh, it's not a bridge or a road, so we don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that there's something on YouTube for everyone. For everyone, right? And something that maybe one of your friends likes might not be what you like. But if you go to your friend and you can, sit down and be like, hey, check out all these awesome YouTubers, what do you like? Well, if you like Freddie, here's visual effects and explosions from Freddie W, or here's a really sarcastic vlog from Wheezy Waiter, or really intellectual content from the Vlog Brothers, or here's cute cat videos. But regardless, you start by getting them hooked on YouTube. Then you say, hey, do you realize that some of these people make videos for a living?
Sounds like you're building a cult, Corey.
I am building a cult. And they're all right there. And you can convince people to love YouTube because it has everything. And it might not be what you're into, so maybe it's not into cat videos, but if you can find someone who you know in real life, a family member, someone you work with, someone you go to school with, and they're into YouTube and you can bond over that, then you say, well, hey, let's go for it. Look, I'll help you make your videos if you help me make mine, and maybe we'll make something out of this. It's kind of a communal system, and if you can do it with one person, then do it with two, and do it with three. if you can get a bunch of people together and it's like, look, for a couple of days we'll all make a video for you. Then for a couple of days we'll all make a video for you, and then we'll do it for me, and I'll have my turn. Then you have people helping you make your videos, and your budget's $0, and you will find that through the communal experience, you will get stronger because they will offer ideas you didn't think about. If you think something's funny and they don't, maybe they're wrong and you tell them, well, you're wrong and I'm going to do it anyways, but maybe you listen to their opinion, and through the strength in numbers, you start making better content. Because as in a Venn diagram of talent, everybody you add to your little pool is going to bring something that you don't have. And you can just keep growing that and growing that. And I did it with 2 friends, and then 3, and then 4, and now it's 18. And there's people here with 30 and 50, and there's maker studios with hundreds and hundreds of people. Because there's all these people bringing something to it that they couldn't have done without those people. But you can start with 2 people.
Just the real quick follow-up model is the TED.com model. You know, TED. And about building communities, and TEDx communities about bringing people back and sharing ideas and spreading that even further. So that's just a great example.
I see you.
Hi, my name is Audrey. Corey, I really like your motivation for why you do what you do, because I'm also a filmmaker. I'm in film school right now. But what I wanted to ask you, not really ask you, but just get what your opinion is. I see so many videos where people have sponsorships with different companies. How do you feel about that whole situation? Because sometimes I feel like in the comments you'll see, oh, sell out, all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's all...
Go nuts.
I've gotten this a few times. Corey and I have both done sponsored videos where brand X will approach us and say, we want to give you this amount of money if you will integrate our product into the video or create an entirely new concept to sponsor our video and get the message out. And while people will be quick to point out that, oh, you're a sellout, the definition of sellout, and there are definitely many ways to interpret it, is mostly that you have to compromise your integrity first and foremost to be a sellout. And for me, saying that I support Ford when I drive a Ford car is not compromising my integrity. If they're going to give me extra money to keep driving a car I've owned for 10 years, that's fine with me. That's more money I can use to feed my family and to support my friends and my employees. So I don't see it as compromising my integrity, but on the other hand, if I go against something and start saying like that I support the Taliban,
extreme example we're about to have.
Wow, you took that as far as you could take it.
I have a brand deal for you where you're going to sponsor the Taliban, Johnny.
I wanted to pick an example I knew everyone would agree with. So if you were to do something that maybe some people agree with, like I put out like say a pro-smoking video or something.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, maybe Marlboro wants to give me a lot of money, like way more than anybody else. I will probably turn that down. It's like, I don't want to smoke. I don't like when other people do it around me, so I'm not going to sponsor something that I personally don't believe in. And the money is just, I guess, the reason you would do it at all.
Do you think that you need to tell your audience whether this is a sponsored video?
I always like to, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm usually very transparent about that.
Yeah, there's no reason to hide it. And
there actually, I'm not sure if you have, but I don't know if I've taken the offer, but I've seen offers before where the brand will sometimes be hesitant about that. Like, we want to try to make this, we don't want them to know they're being advertised to, and I'm not usually comfortable about that. So I don't want to just hide a product in my video and then get paid for it and have my audience not know that the whole time I was using this phone, it was actually paid for and they just told me to use it. It's like, well, that doesn't, it seems very disingenuous, so I would avoid that, and I know most people try to.
One thing in the negotiation stage, if you're there and you're talking to a potential client or a potential sponsor, is that you generally demand that you write it and you have full creative control. I won't do any sponsorship where I don't have complete and utter creative control, and that makes me turn away most sponsorships. So what I do is I tell them, they're not very comfortable with that, so I tell them, look, I'll come up with 5 completely different ideas for you, and then you can pick one of the 5. That way they have some control, but all 5 ideas were yours, and you're comfortable making all 5 of those, and no matter which one you pick, you're down to make that without selling out.
And Ken, as a brand, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
What they just said was authenticity and being honest with it. I think that people can see through it, whether it's
the audience has like the best bullshit detector out there. The collective hive mind of YouTube, and they'll sniff out anytime you try to pull something over on them. So.
Well, I hate to do this, but we have to move on to our next panel, so if everyone can give these guys a big round of applause. Please find them. They'll be here all weekend. They each have an amazing, amazing plethora of information to share with you, so please hunt them out. I know that there was a lot of questions that didn't get to get answered, and I'm sorry that we have to keep moving on to other panels, but definitely find them, ask your questions. Thank you guys so much.
Cool. Thank you.